What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Kind of Funny podcast. I am one of your hosts alongside, back from New York, Mr. Tim Geddes.
It was one of the weirdest trips where I went to New York on a Tuesday, came back on a Thursday.
Yeah.
And a cross-country
time
trip
for New York.
in the middle of the week.
The perfect time for New York.
It throws you off in a way where it's just like all your timing is like just whacked.
Yeah.
So like I didn't know what day it was. I still don't. I mean, I guess it's a Monday. That's a nice little reset point. But yeah, getting into the weekend, every day I woke up thinking I was going to work. You know?
Yeah, that's crazy. Of course, joining us as well is it's Christmas in April. Miss Joey Noel, how you doing?
I'm doing well. That's a weird one too, because you guys had so many early mornings that like your buddy had no idea what time zone you were in.
No, and like it
and
was,
lack of sleep.
It got crazier and crazier because like the day one, our flight in San Francisco was at 6 a.m. to get to New York. So obviously having to wake up hours before that to get to the airport and do that whole thing. So that was crazy. But then the next day we had to be at the Nintendo event at 7 a.m. New York time, which for us was 4 a.m., which meant we had to wake up even earlier to get there. And like doing the math on that, that's where I started falling apart, especially because I was so excited like a kid waiting for Christmas that I woke up every hour.
Yeah.
So it was like this weekend I made up for it though. This weekend, oh man.
Just slept the entire weekend. And of course, rounding out the quartet today is the Nitro Rifle himself, the man with the music, Mr. Andy Cortez.
Hello everyone.
The
No
man
music
with
today.
the music.
Yes, that's what
You missed quite a musical episode.
Oh, yeah?
last week.
Yeah, we made some songs.
Good.
Well,
We made some songs.
songs are that's a loose interpretation of that word.
Yeah, I
Songs.
think so.
Greg mostly just kind of stream of consciousness rapped over whatever Andy was doing, and then threw to me occasionally.
Got
Yeah,
it.
I don't know
It
that
was
I
really
would
fun.
call them good.
Yeah.
Oh, we're not going to ascribe a value to these by any stretch of the imagination.
I don't know why you're judging, Joe. Like,
Yeah, Joe. You think
What?
you could do better? Andy,
The
go get the
Nick
guitar.
was
Oh,
so
God.
fast.
Go get the guitar.
That's the fastest I've ever seen Nick in 180.
yeah, fuck you, Joe.
Oh my God. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the Kind of Funny podcast. We do this each and every week where 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather on this table, each bringing, just shooting the crap for your proverbial enjoyment value. Housekeeping today. Hey, we have a big one. This Friday, we kick off the Elder Scrolls Online podcast, the Kind of Funny Gamescast limited series. This is really cool, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Join Greg, Mike, ZeniMax Online Studio Director Mike Fyror, and Elder Scrolls Online Game Director Rich Lambert as they start an unflinching 4-part show about the highs, lows, successes, and failures of the 10-year-old game. Greg calls this his deepest dive of his entire career, and it all kicks off this Friday as your normal Gamescast, as well as the Elder Scrolls Online YouTube. We never get this level of in-depth with developers, so don't miss out. This is going to be really cool. Everyone needs to listen to this. Of course,
Exciting times.
shout out to our Patreon producers, James Hastings, Casey Andrew, Carl Jacob, and Amiko Buster. And today we're brought to you by BetterHelp, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. I am so jealous that you guys went to New York.
You should be.
New York's so fun.
I would have liked to have gone, but I don't want to wake up that early for a Nintendo event.
God, you're such a don't talk to me, Nick. The Nintendo stuff, obviously great. That
Yeah.
aside, obviously New York, one of the coolest places on planet Earth. Every time I've ever
Yeah.
been there, cool things are happening.
Yes.
Shenanigans are happening. We already on one of the shows talked about the fact that the first thing that happened when we got there was getting the Uber from the airport to our hotel, and the driver, there was some traffic and they're like confusing, the New York drivers, very vocal.
Yeah.
So they started
Baba
like, what's
Ganoush.
going on? What's going on?
Where's
Like, why is this so
Spider-Man?
slow? And then we look and they go, oh, whoa. And we're like, look up. And a car was just flipped literally upside down right in front of us.
I did see that video.
Kev, the pictures and assets, a couple things back if you wanted to find it. But it was definitely a terrifying opening. Everyone seemed fine. There was an ambulance and like there was another car. Like you can kind of see the story of like a van must have cut the lane off in the back of the van, hit the front of the car, flipped it over.
Oh.
Very scary stuff. But yeah, that kind of set the tone for the rest of it. But great trip. Me, Roger, and Bless. Obviously, Roger from over there. So he was kind of giving us the lay of the land. Roger turned into a different person. the
I
entire
would
trip.
love to experience New York, Roger.
Oh my
Because we
gosh.
get glimpses of it. But like, I want to see Roger in his element.
Yeah, every once in a while, Roger will give you the sort of like Wall Street version of himself. Yeah.
Wall Street.
I don't know, for lack of a better term, he's so happy-go-lucky and smiley, but every once in a while he'll get like aggressive, like Wolf of Wall Street. Like we gotta sell some penny stocks to people, right? We gotta get going. We got to New York. You get him talking about pizza or bagels, and he won't shut the fuck
Well,
up.
that's the thing. Like he was very stuck on we got to get some good bagels. Like y'all need to learn. And I learned. I've been to New York many times. I've had some bagels before, but like I've always been of the mind of like it's one of those
They're
things.
fine.
They're bagels.
They're
Like,
as good as everything
I
else.
love
yeah.
bagels, but they're as good as any other bagel. This was the first time I went with a New Yorker,
Yeah.
to be like, let me just take you somewhere.
Yeah.
And he was like, this isn't even a place I've been. I just know they're the right vibe, whatever. I was legitimately blown away.
Okay.
We're getting bacon, egg, and cheese on a bagel.
Yeah.
All right. They had a hash brown on that shit.
Yeah, you got
Yeah.
hash brown.
They put a like McDonald's style hash brown on the bagel sandwich. And I'm like, I'm living big. They put the hot sauce, they put the ketchup on it already.
Fuck
You don't need
yeah.
to do it yourself. Everything about this, I was like, this has won my appreciation. I get it. Pizza, I'm still not sold on. To be fair, I didn't have more pizza this time. But I've never had New York pizza that I'm like, y'all, you deserve to be talking so high about this stuff. Not throwing shade. I'm happy y'all have something you like, but I just haven't had that experience. You get what I'm saying?
I haven't had New York pizza since we didn't get New York pizza at WrestleMania.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the last time I was in New York,
Excuse me.
Bless you.
and that was the last time I was disappointed by this fucking Uber driver on his
God.
motorcycle in pouring rain, being like, "Sorry, guys,
Oh my
I got-
God, that's right.
I got nothing."
Because what happened? It like fell out of the box or some shit like that,
It was raining.
and it just rained on the pizza, right?
Yeah, like
raining.
no cover for the. He was just
He was just palming
Yeah.
he
it.
just had it. Yeah,
Just raw dogging it.
I
out
think
into
he
the rain.
opened the lid of the box.
He was like catch more of the
he was
moisture
he was protecting himself from the rain and was holding up the
with
pizza
the
box.
pizza. It's like, how did you control the scooter? That's crazy.
Disaster.
Oh man, dude. I got to vent for a second. And this is gonna sound like a shitty. Very. Tim's like, where's this going?
Where's this going?
This
We
gotta
gotta
go
have
so
a
many
con-
different directions.
We got to have a conversation about delivery drivers in San Francisco.
Do we?
We do. They're out of their minds. They're cracked, dude. They're cracked. These guys are up on the sidewalks. They're fucking right up on my car. They're nuts.
Okay.
And I get it. They got to make their money. They got no margins. These guys are very, very hardworking. But we got to have a conversation about safety. I see these people riding tandem, holding shit. I'm like,
Yeah. Okay.
I'm like,
you're all right.
I'm like, you guys, I'm like, you guys got to like, we got to settle it that like it is. I mean, again, Grant, look, you got to make your money. And I know a lot of these people that they're not making that much. They're the hardest working people in San Francisco. I give them that, but it's not worth your life to get someone's fucking bun me to them 5 minutes early. It's not worth it.
I have seen a bunch of the scooters driving up on sidewalks and being
Dirt.
like, I don't know about that one, Chuck.
Dude,
That's
it's
crazy.
It's crazy. It gives me so much anxiety because I'm trying to be a safe driver, specifically now that they have those fucking cameras in San Francisco. Have you heard about these?
No.
They have the not red light cameras, speeding cameras now all over like Franklin and all the main thoroughfares. And so they're giving everyone like a 3-week like
Get
grace
it out
period.
now.
Literally.
Go as fast as you want now.
Literally, they've installed them and they're like, hey, just so everyone knows, if you speed and you get a ticket, it's going to be a warning. So they'll let you know for the first like few weeks, like, hey, this is here. Just be cool. Because we have pedestrian deaths in San Francisco, and it's really unfortunate. And I think a lot of that is just because the city is a chaotic place to drive around in. And if you can anything you can do to slow people down, I think I'm all for. I'm terrified that I'm going to open
police
my
officer.
mail.
How about you fucking catch me?
Yeah. Try to
How
catch
about
me.
you do your job?
I'm
I'm
with
Fucking
you.
having cameras do your job for you?
Yeah, I know. I'm with it.
Like,
I'm
come
with
on.
it, dude. I want people to crack down on
Stand there.
the moving violations in San Francisco.
I want just a dude with a clipboard looking and being like,
Oh, you want
That
that?
seems kinda fast.
629
That's not how it's gonna be,
Z46.
dude.
Like,
It's gonna be that crazy Chips radar cop, the scariest image ever when you're speeding,
oh,
and you look over and you see him, and you're like,
the
fuck.
worst,
That has
dude.
boots like up over their knees.
Yeah, dude, this is every restaurant in San Francisco right now. It's all these guys, and again, I'm not throwing shade at these guys. They're doing what they gotta do
Yeah.
to make the living. But I think we just have to like, how do we make it safer for them? Maybe I don't know, and not because they're everywhere. There's everywhere. It's all the electric scooters.
Yeah.
Helmet, running in. You know, you can tell they're like, I gotta make my fucking day.
Yeah.
And again, I've been there. I've worked service. It fucking sucks. But at the same time, I'm like, y'all can't be mounting the curb to get someone their Taco Bell. It can't happen. That's my rant for the day.
I got it.
Also, you shouldn't be ordering Taco Bell delivery.
Man,
That shit's gonna rise
I-
so soggy if you get a crunchy anything.
Oh no, you gotta just skip burritos.
Dude, I can't. Fuck
Although,
with,
to be
I
fair,
can't fuck
dude,
with anything soft.
I
at
kind of
Taco
like
Bell.
the nachos when
Really?
they come and they're a little
Yeah.
wet. They're a little soggy. I eat them with a fork.
I'm looking
Eating them
and I'm
with the
judging.
fork isn't weird. Liking them wet is super
The
weird.
outsides are crunchy, and as you get more to the inside, it becomes more like a little pot pie.
Well, that's nachos always, right?
I kind of, yeah.
But like
You let them steam up a little bit.
liking them wet,
Yeah,
I
that's-
guess.
Definitely something.
And I guess normal
sometimes-
nachos aren't like steaming in a delivery package.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It just gets so soggy. Everything gets so soggy. I also just personally can't fuck with anything soft at Taco Bell. The The flour tortillas just they got a smell to them.
You're such a
it's like
you're a
bleach.
corn tortilla guy through and through, and I appreciate that.
No,
about
I
you.
love flour tortillas
Really?
too, but not from places like Taco Bell.
Huh.
They
I've
they
never
got a
seen you
smell.
do it.
They got like a fake smell to
Yeah,
them.
it's all
Yeah.
fake. I love it.
I don't know.
I'm
It's got
addicted to it.
It's got this packaging smell to
Yeah.
it. It really
It
really
does,
fucks with me
for sure.
Like
It
when
smells
I
like each
when I
of
go
them-
back home, if I'm home for a week, 3 of those mornings, I'm eating for breakfast like a bean taco or like just putting butter on a fucking It's and I
There's
love
nothing better than a freshly buttered hot tortilla.
yeah, and like the thing is, there's some really good purchasable tortillas that are flour in the valley. I just don't really know what brands that they are. But those are the ones that my grandma, because my grandma used to always like just do them on her own, and then eventually was like, "These are really fucking good. I'm just gonna get these instead of making them."
Yeah,
Okay.
for
And
sure.
they are really good. But yeah, there's just something about it. Just it's got like this sort of rubber taste or rubber feel to it.
Well, it feels like it was made prior and then shipped.
Yeah.
They're not making those tortillas at Taco Bell. Those
Yeah.
are pre-shipped,
Absolutely
so they
not.
were made like a month earlier, frozen, thawed out on the way here. Probably, who knows?
Yeah, because we take the ones that are like preheated, right? So you got to like put them on the stove and like actually heat them up, and they get the little burn marks on them or whatever.
Yeah, you got the bubbles a little bit here. And then you put some
Straight on
butter
the
in there.
fire, no
So good.
pan.
Dude, it's so
Chef's
fucking,
kiss.
dude, it's so good. It's so good. Well, you were talking about the about Uber drivers on motorcycles and things like that, and I over the weekend was watching a lot of clips of I Show Speed, the famous streamer.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Being in China, doing a whole lot of like just
What's he doing in China?
just everything. He's doing everything in China. But seeing him get in their personal drone taxis that they are working on, and like this isn't the video of him in the drone taxi, but there is a video of him getting in the
Wait, this is insane. This is not. When you said drone taxi, I was like, what the? You
Yes.
just mean like
Yeah.
a
It's a-
Waymo?
Wait, this
no,
just got
it's a Waymo
legalized,
of
right?
disguise.
Yeah, this is
The future.
this is an electric, and everybody's like, well, it's just a fucking helicopter. Like, okay, but it's small and it's electric, and
Well, no, it's not a helicopter. A helicopter is one, like,
well, it's
big-ass
helicopter
propeller.
esque. It's a drone.
no, yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's a
like
drone.
I'm talking about.
Colloquially, a helicopter.
I'm talking about like the people, the naysayers going like, okay, well, it's not like a flying car. It's just, it's like, okay, dude, this shit is so awesome. And there's video of I Show Speed getting in one and then flying him, and he's like recording himself. He's
That's
like,
so
what the fuck?
crazy.
Man,
And-
I thought we had it cool with Waymo, but this shit's way better. This is way cooler than Waymo.
Dude, this shit's so sick. So imagine like just being a little Uber driver, being in this little like personal drone,
Well,
just kind of flying everywhere. That'd be
Well,
awesome.
you wouldn't be driving, right? There's no drivers for this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're not controlling it. You are like.
I don't
taking
know
the
about it, man.
destination.
Cool. You
Huh?
know?
I don't know that I would do it.
Yeah.
No.
You take a Waymo though, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine. That's different.
Would you, or how do you feel about helicopters in general?
Yeah, I'm pretty anti-helicopter. Like that's the
Okay.
thing is like I feel like push come to shove, I'd do it. But I feel like there's just been way too many Kobe type stories that are
Yeah.
like it just seems very silly. Like I always say like, oh, the roller coasters. I feel safe because thousands and thousands of people wait in line and get on these things and everyone's okay. Maybe there's a death once every 10 years or something like that. If the stats are different, please don't tell me. I don't want to know. But like the stats on helicopters sound a lot. I've heard about a lot of helicopter deaths, right? And it's
Yeah.
just like that doesn't
Yeah.
seem worth the
I think
risk.
because they're
Right.
more sensationalized.
Yeah.
I think because a helicopter death is a scarier, more gruesome death than, I mean, there's people dying in car wrecks every day.
Yeah.
But it's like, we're so used to that I think we just don't really bat an eye on it. But there's also something a lot more terrifying about falling out of the sky and
Yeah.
hitting something and exploding as opposed to like, hitting your head against the airbag and breaking your neck and you're dead,
I'd
Well,
rather
yeah.
explode though.
Well,
but-
I mean, I just feel like if your Waymo breaks down, you have an 80 to 85% chance of it just stopping. And you go, oh, I guess I'll just get out of this Waymo, right? Because it's on the street. If that thing breaks down,
You're just done.
even
I
if
mean,
it's,
even
even if
like
it's
private
15
jets,
feet in the
though.
air, you're fucked.
Like there's something about being in the air with like these smaller things that like it just seems like the safety regulations are like we hit them, but like and to be fair, it's not like freaking giant like real planes are faring much better these days.
Well, remember
I
at
would
the
jump
beginning
out
of-
and learn how to do the parkour roll. That's what I would do.
So
Yeah.
as it's going down, you jump out and you.
I would
flip
jump off and offset the
Yeah.
speed that I was
Of course.
going down at so that I would land at a slower speed and then do the parkour roll.
Naturally.
Yeah.
Explosion
And then
behind
Dark Souls
you.
roll.
How did you do in physics, Andy?
Real bad.
Yeah. He was like, I studied art.
Mr. Tabora, man, that guy was an asshole.
To be fair, remember at the beginning of the year when like there was like 400 massive plane accidents and everyone's like, this is normal. This happens all the time. We're like, I don't think it does.
I haven't
Maybe
traveled.
it's a Nathan Fielder thing, though. We don't really know
Yeah,
yet.
oh my god, I haven't traveled a lot in the last couple of years compared to how much I used to, and now this month is like the most I've traveled in years, like back-to-back flights, and I'm like, this is the most terrified I've been of being on a goddamn plane.
Yeah.
This is the most serious they've taken, like the exit row, like it's a whole freaking stop and listen and you hear the rules and like I'm like, I like this. This is good. It's also terrifying though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
I have zero confidence in the X0 people. I'll be honest with you. Unless
Why
I'm
would you
one
have-
of them,
Oh,
I have
yeah.
zero confidence.
Oh, and you have
in them.
confidence in you?
I'm like the Mark Wahlberg of plane flights, right? If I'm on that
What does
fucking
that
plane,
mean?
I'm saving people's lives.
Okay.
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 If I was on that plane in 9/11, just like Mark Wahlberg, they would never have crashed.
Yeah.
Why do you
that's-
say such
it-
an
I know.
awful
Said it,
thing?
it's-
I
because he
know.
said it. I said it because he said it.
He did. He did.
It's the
God.
stupidest thing ever.
But yeah, dude, the rehearsal season 2, baby. What a premise for this. This is
Did
what's
you
happening.
care about
Nick.
the rehearsal, Nick, at all?
I couldn't care less.
Oh, yeah, that checks out.
Yeah, it does. But
I'm not an Andy has tried throughout the years to get me on board with Nathan Fielder. I just don't understand it. I don't get it. It's to me, it's unsettling to watch this, and
Yeah,
I
that's
just
part
don't
of the
understand
point.
why people like it.
this season looks fucking insane.
Yeah.
Like
They
I
said every
can't
season.
believe
I'm
how
right with
serious
Nick.
they're taking this thing.
It's gonna be.
They're going to
real
solve this
fun.
problem, Nick. That's the premise of this season is them fixing the problem of
The exit
air
row?
safety.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, he's
Are
going
they
to
gonna-
court.
Are they?
He's
Oh,
taking this to the
interesting.
people.
I mean, I would watch that if he's serious about it. But is he just going to recreate a Boeing 747 and then like recast people?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but then like using that as like examples of how things should be done legally at a government level.
I mean, that's interesting. We'll
It's
see if he can-
incredible. I sent you another link, Kevin, of the actual video where IShow Speed is inside of the drone taking off. You might want to fast forward a bit further to where I sent the link at. But it's been really cool just watching Speed being in China, just like doing everything, taking in all the sites, all the little, just any sort of like I think like the cultural curiosity is what's kind of the coolest thing about it, and him
Yeah.
just kind of like being down for whatever. But if you fast forward a little bit, you'll see like it actually taking off, and he's still recording live to his stream, and it's hilarious, man.
Does it
It's-
actually take him somewhere?
Oh, I mean, it like goes up in the air and kind of flies a bit forward, and then it comes back and lands down.
Oh, I thought it was going to take him to the mall or some cool shit.
Well,
It's
but like
been-
this just got legalized. Like it was like a week ago.
I feel like that would also be my reaction.
Yeah, I mean, I've only been in a Waymo once. We did it for the video, actually twice. And the first time you get into it, there is that moment of like, fuck.
Ooh.
Like there's
Yeah.
there's no human here to like deal with something if it goes wrong. It's a weird feeling. It's very scary how acclimated we are to like, hey, a pilot needs to be a human being to like figure some shit out.
Yeah, I mean, so far my Waymo experience has been great. Like I have no complaints.
Oh, I'm hooked. I love it. I got over it fast.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that initial moment where you go,
Yeah,
wow, I'm really trusting my life to like coding, to like lines of code, is a leap forward for me as a very paranoid human being.
Yeah, but also like when you're just driving, you're like or taking an Uber, you're trusting your life to someone you don't know
in a
that
car
may or
that's
may
also
not drive well.
made
Or a
up
bunch
of
of people
code.
also driving around that you don't know how they drive.
Oh no, I mean I would wager to bet, like if I put my money on it, I would say like it's way safer to drive in
Oh.
Waymos than it is driving Ubers.
Yeah,
For
I'm
sure. I mean, I
that's
bet how many times have you had moments in Ubers where you're like, well, you're like today might be the day.
true. Yep.
This guy's driving
Probably
like crazy.
more times than not.
I had a guy driving to the airport last that I was like, are you trying to set a fucking land speed record? Like, what are we doing? And I heard his car, like, it was like a moment in like Interstellar. Remember where he's like, sorry, I can't say anything. Started to break apart and shit just started flying off the fucking ship.
Oh,
Remember
right.
that?
That was
I
a
was like,
really good impression
This
of
is
the robot.
what's happening right now. This guy, I think this dude's brakes just left his car. It was bad.
I was in an Uber with Barrett one time, and we were leaving some event, and it was just like this car that went way too close to us in a really, really tight area, just
Ooh.
knocked off the whole side view mirror. The guy was like, what the fuck? And he's like, I'm sorry, guys. And he like got out and tried to like put it back in.
No,
and
it's
stuff.
not going back
It's a
in.
disaster.
Yeah.
I don't understand why cars can go so fast. Like, isn't it a silly thing? Like, I understand
It's
that
silly.
there are car enthusiasts. I understand that people like racing, and I understand all of that. Why does a Honda Civic that you can just fucking buy, like the speedometer, like the most insane speed limit I've ever seen somewhere is what, 75?
Yeah.
Right? Like, I
Yeah.
don't think I've ever seen you can go faster than this.
Oh, there's a lot of spots in Texas that like on the open road spots, it's like 85.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
85.
Or the Autobahn where there's no speed.
See,
Yeah.
now we're talking about like fucking,
Europe.
there's just no goddamn rules.
Yeah.
I'm saying like, even let's say 85.
yeah.
The 85 is way too on the left side of the speedometer. Like, why is there even room to be going this much faster? And I know that sometimes like, oh, lane changing, you need to be able to speed up or whatever. That's like bringing freaking Gone with the Wind being the #1 goddamn movie. Stop
Why are
telling me
you
this.
so upset
Stop talking to
about
me
this?
about Gone with the Wind. You see that they're teasing me, Joey?
Yeah, I
This
saw the
weekend,
thing.
once again, they bring this
Adjusted
shit
for
up.
inflation, yeah.
Get the fuck out of
Phenomenal
here.
movie.
Which is funny because this weekend I also had a conversation with my friend Lauren, who you also know, who was like, who even cares about, we don't know anybody that cares about Avatar. Then we paused for a second. She's like, Mal cares about Avatar. I was like, Tim cares about Avatar.
I care about Avatar,
and that's
man.
why they're friends.
It makes sense. But yeah, thank you, Kevin, for bringing this up. We have 80 miles per hour as the noon.
In the
Minimum.
middle.
The great north of this
Yeah.
whole thing.
Most cars have a top speed though. I don't think like a Honda. I don't think can go.
Don't you have to like
I don't know
take
where
off the
this is-
restrictor thing or whatever?
Yeah, but I don't know. Like engine wise, you do max out at a certain point where it just cannot do any more RPMs for the like. You'd have to be going downhill to be doing 160 miles an hour probably in a Honda.
Tim, I've always felt the same way though. Like, hey, that if you don't want
Let's see.
people
What is this
breaking
for?
the
Civic
laws,
has
why,
137
why are they
miles an
capable
hour.
of doing that?
Yeah.
Like, I don't.
That's pretty fast.
And not just capable,
fast.
but like it almost like to your normal everyday driving experience, it's advertised as 80 miles per hour is halfway up the thing. I just feel like we should like kind of readjust a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're going
Freedom of speech,
130,
don't
it
infringe
should
my
be hitting
cars.
the thing and it should be bright red and that thing's like 130, motherfucker. You're crazy. You shouldn't be
Yeah.
doing this unless you're on the Autobahn. And even then, like, all right, we can't be marketing based on you driving on the Autobahn.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably all marketing if I had to guess. Right,
Hey.
having top speeds for like sports cars is like a big thing, but nobody drives
Sports
that.
cars, yes.
Nobody drives 120 or 30 miles an hour. You can't even do that anywhere. You'd
I
have to
know.
go to a track
I know.
legitimately, and the track has to have a straightaway that's long enough for you not to
get
have to
that.
brake. Like, so for the most part, you're probably not doing that. I would wager that, like, even if you're taking a high end sports car out to like the track up in Sonoma,
Laguna Seca.
yeah, I doubt you're doing. I mean, I'm spitballing here, but I doubt you're doing more than 100 at any given
For good
at any given
reason,
time.
I
Well, yeah,
think.
because you have to brake and turn at a certain point. You
Yeah.
fucking shot put your car straight off of the track. But it's a good question. That's a really good concept.
It's just bizarre.
If we all just agreed across the board to have car regulations, just make sure that like 90 was the top speed, but your car had to like work to get up to that, we'd all be in a better place.
Because I feel like it's one of those things where it's like you get a driver's license, you're allowed to be on the streets and all that stuff, and that shit's really not that hard. And I know people that could drive that got that license. I'm like, I don't know if they deserve that.
Right.
I feel like there should be a secondary. You want to go on the bond? You want to hit those speeds?
Yeah.
You got to pass a different test. You're out of the speed test. You know what I mean?
I think it needs to be like a sensor that once you get to that thing, it unlocks the regulator of your car and says, okay, you can go fast now for just this little part.
Yeah.
Doesn't Mike make it to Tahoe in like 3 hours?
And that is
Less than that.
terrifying
Yeah.
for him and the people around him.
But he goes at like 2 a.m. when he's super tired.
Mike, yeah, that's good. That's
And when
probably
visibility's great, yeah.
Yeah.
good. Yeah, and he's got real good
Real good vision
real good
already.
vision. Nick, going up to 15 from SoCal to get to Vegas, everyone's pulling 85 to 95 normally. Yeah, I've done that. I've done that drive, and it's fine until you realize that you're keeping up with the flow of traffic at 90 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And if like
It's
something
scary.
happens, you're pretty much just dead. Because that's the other thing you have to think about too is you're on the road, you're in the middle of fucking nowhere. You
Fucking
crash.
Barstow.
Good luck. When's the ambulance going to get to you? Maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes. Congrats. You just bled out. I watch a lot of Grey's Anatomy. I could be a fucking doctor right now. Okay.
I mean, fucking shit. Enough with Grey's Anatomy. I can't with
Never
you anymore,
enough.
Nick.
Ellen Pompeo's been on for 2 decades. She's on her new show finally, and she literally, I read an interview with her. She's like, she was saying some stuff, but I was reading between the lines because I'm intuitive. I intuited it.
Of course you
And I was
are,
like,
yeah.
it feels like she's getting out of prison. Like she feels, she's like, I'm so fucking excited to do a different character
Yeah,
that
but
is
she
not
just
Meredith
printed
Grey.
money for 15
Oh
years.
God, yeah, of
Maybe
course.
more.
I mean,
I gotta assume that she wakes up or in her sleep will have sort of like sleep, like where
Work
she's like
dreams?
putting her gloves on as the doctor, and it's like
just
I'm
walks
not
around
a-
like this all the time.
Yeah,
Has
exactly.
to do that. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna take a quick break to tell you about our sponsors, and then afterward, I want to ask these people if they've seen something cool.
This episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. We all know that therapy can feel like a lofty investment, but we also know that there's nothing better to invest in than yourself. The state of your mind is just as important as your physical health. Let's talk numbers. Traditional in-person therapy can cost anywhere from $100 to $250 per session, which adds up fast. But with BetterHelp Online Therapy, you can save on average up to 50% per session. Therapy should feel accessible, not like a luxury. With BetterHelp, you pay a flat fee for weekly sessions, saving you big on cost and on time. Some of my best friends use BetterHelp and love how helpful it can be for learning positive coping skills and how to set boundaries. It empowers you to be the best version of yourself, and it isn't just for those who've experienced major trauma. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Your well-being is worth it. Visit betterhelp.com/kindafunny to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/kindafunny. BetterHelp.com/kindafunny.
And we're back.
Yes.
You had something.
Yeah, one last thought on New
Are you
York.
talking about New York?
I love New York. Love being there.
Mhm.
It's so crazy to just be walking down the street and then just seeing somebody like stop and take a picture. And I was like, what are they looking at? I'm like, oh, it's the Empire State Building.
Yeah.
It's just like, there's just something about like everywhere you look, something iconic is happening, right? Like I went to go get dinner with the homie Jake Baldino and Skill Up. That was awesome.
yeah.
Jake
And
Baldwin.
he just gave us the address. He's like, oh yeah, meet us here. And we're just walking and it's like, it's at 30 Rock. And I'm
Oh,
like,
cool.
This is just so cool. It's like all these big things that I get that we're in Manhattan. So like, of course that's going to
Yeah.
go down. But like being born and raised in San Francisco and like see the way people react to the Golden Gate Bridge or Trans-American Pyramid, like all these like
Painted
different things.
ladies, yeah.
Exactly. It's just like, oh, I get so used to it, but like I get that feeling like when I'm there, even though I'm like, I've seen it a million times, but there's still something cool about it where it's like, oh, this is where things go down.
New York is, I love New York.
Yeah.
For my money, and I've been fortunate enough to be to a lot of like cool cities in this world. I think New York is the greatest city in the world.
I mean, New York's awesome, like for sure. And the thing I'm most impressed by, besides the bagels this time, because that was insane, was, and I was talking to Roger about this. Like, I don't mean this in the way that like shitty people mean it. New York has the most NPCs I have ever seen in my life, and I don't mean it in the way of like, oh, these people don't matter. I mean it in the way of like, this is a fully realized city. Like you're playing this video game and like you're walking down the street and like you cannot walk down the street without a group of construction workers and a group of people just having an argument about something. It's like you're walking and there's just constant chatter. None of it feels like it was AI written.
Right.
It feels
Yeah.
very like there's like substance to what's going on.
Yeah.
And there's just an energy, man, and a vibe. And like every single time I'm like, this is cool. It feels like there's constant progress of something going on. Like no matter what street you're going down, there's always steam coming out of the sewers, no matter
Always.
what.
It feels like the city of New York is always like putting on a Broadway show for you.
Yes.
And they're like, all right, let's get in character. Here
Yep.
we go.
You turn the corner and they go and scene and they
Yeah.
can stop. Yeah, that's how it feels.
Cut the steam on the sewer, you know, fucking
Manny,
the taxi
Manny,
guy
where were
yelling
you,
at
Manny?
the yeah.
You were 5 seconds late on your line.
Yeah.
You're supposed to. You gotta do the kissy sound a little earlier next time.
So fucking funny.
Construction workers, all that whole all that jazz. I haven't been in New York again since the WrestleMania thing, and I think the time before that was Comic-Con 2016 when I was at Rooster Teeth.
Dang,
wow.
I remember that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a wild time.
I'll never forget. Like that might have been no. I think the first trip I went out there for like a Madden thing, and they were like, "Oh, it's at the Rainbow Lounge or something like that." I was like, "I don't know what the hell that is," and it's the thing that's like connected to 30 Rock, and I had no idea we were going there, and the cab turned right, and I was like,
Huh.
"Like that's 30 Rock."
That's
Like,
it.
that's. And I don't think it was until we went for the WrestleMania thing that we got a chance to just walk around the lobby of that because there's like little places to shop
that
and
was
stuff.
fun.
But you just like as a fan of obviously 30 Rock the show, but anything that's been produced in that building, specifically like Saturday Night Live, it's so I mean, and maybe this is just me bringing what you bring in what you bring into it, but I was like, you can feel the energy of the creative influences that have walked through these doors over the last 4 decades. Like you can feel like it would be so fucking cool just to go up the elevator, like see the offices of SNL and be like, oh, this is where so and so worked, and this is that office used to be so and so else's office.
Cool shit, man.
A lot of you can still see the lines of cocaine that people used to do. It's very, very cool.
I drove by the because I remember one of my highlights was the Nintendo store there, and I got to drive by the Nintendo store here in SF.
Ooh,
Opening in
I
like
haven't
3
seen it
Summer
yet.
weeks,
location.
man.
It's close.
I'm excited.
It's close. I wonder what it's gonna be pandemonium, huh?
Oh
The
yeah.
Nintendo store.
Yeah.
I wonder for how long it's going to be like just absolutely.
Well,
It's
I mean, it's in the lead up to the Switch 2.
yeah.
So I feel like the pandemonium's gonna last longer than it would normally.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, that's about to be wild. I mean, just think about this, and it puts us in a weird position because of what we do. Like I can't think of a way to do this, but like the Nintendo Direct live reactions are gonna be freaking insane there now.
Yeah.
Like every time there's one, there's gonna be hundreds of people in there losing their fucking minds. That's pretty cool.
It feels to me like it'll be the type of retail store that is never not crazy. Similar to when I was in Osaka and the Pokemon store was just always crazy.
Yeah.
Regardless of holiday, regardless of what fucking game is coming out, it's just always one of those spots that is always kind of packed. It's like In-N-Out, like
Yeah.
it's just one of those spots that's always going to have a lot of people in there, and maybe you'll walk by and be like, it's too packed. Maybe we'll get lunch and we'll come back after.
But the one thing about that I'm interested in is that area has changed so dramatically recently
over
that
the last
like
5 years.
I haven't been there in
there's
forever.
no draw for like shopping. And like I think the tourism scene there has like shifted a lot as well. So I wonder if it's going to draw people there to go there specifically for it.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like the Nintendo store in New York is at Times Square, like just off of Times Square.
Yeah.
And
You get a lot of
30 Rock. So
tourist
it's
foot
like
traffic.
there's like a lot of like other reasons to
Yeah.
go. And so it's like I do feel like there's that extra layer. I wonder how long the like draw to the San Francisco location will last. Because once it turns into it's just a store, I don't know if it's going to have the same level of like
Maybe
traffic.
other stores take advantage of that shit.
Maybe like that's the thing they would need to, because like the last week at the SF Mall is now donezo.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah. They I think a lot of the bigger boutiques pulled out. So
I mean, I think it's now the smaller ones. I think now it's like
yeah. Well, so
It's like when was the last time I went to the Westfield Mall? Like,
well, probably
Yeah.
for the Metreon, but you just saw the Westfield Mall. We're like not going in there. There's
the
no
last time I had a reason to go in.
yeah.
Is that the mall that has like the Microsoft store?
yes, it's where we threw prom.
For real?
It's where we threw prom.
done?
Oh, Kev, can you pull up some footage of this?
So yeah, let's get the history of this real quick. So like obviously after the pandemic, the reasoning, a lot of the businesses either moved out of the city or went work from home, and so all the foot traffic basically in Soma has died down. Right. You have a lot of retail theft. That's something that contributed to it, but all of these things contributed to basically zero traffic going through this mall. So the first thing that kind of took this thing down was Nordstrom leaving. Like we are one of the only major cities that
They
doesn't
were
have
the
a Nordstrom
catalyst.
in it.
I
That's
was
crazy.
so sad when they left Stonestown too.
It's crazy, right? And again, some of that is retail theft. Some of that is, and my understanding is that there's just less foot traffic in that area because fewer people are there. And then some of it
But it
also,
started
also
even
that
before that,
retail
though.
is just like dying, right?
Because like it started with there was just the San Francisco Center is what they called it. That's where the big ass escalators going up in a circle.
Yeah.
Where there was the Macy's and Nordstrom and all that stuff. And then they added Westfield a couple of years ago, like maybe a decade ago at this point. Which was like the incredible, like this is where all the rich boutique-y shit is, and they had that like food center and stuff. But even then, that was a problem because like pre-pandemic, it's like it wasn't sustainable because like the rich people weren't trying to go there. The rich people were going up north or even like further south to go to these malls.
Well,
So
you also have
Westfield was never doing well to begin with.
Yeah.
you have the divide of Market too, right? Which is like when you go over Market, actually all those stores are still doing okay. But they're high end. You're talking about like Cartier and like
Gucci,
Tiffany,
Versace.
and all of those shops, and those are still doing all right. In fact, I think some of them are actually expanding. It's just the mega mall concept became unsustainable. And then once Nordstrom bailed out of their lease, I think Bloomingdale's was the theater was first, right?
Yeah.
The theater was like, we're done, we can't do this anymore. And then I think Bloomingdale's is gone now. And so
movie theater left. That
once,
was really
but basically
the
what
sign.
so that was what the Nordstrom looked like. If you go back to that one picture, Kev, just one back to your left, that's a lot of retail space. That's a lot of foot traffic. That was the number one reason why I went to that mall, which was generally to return shit to Nordstrom for D. Right? We would go there, we'd have lunch, we'd return something, we'd do a little light shopping, and then maybe go take in a movie or something like that. But yeah, I've never seen
Rest in peace,
anything
the movie
like
theater.
this. I mean, it is just like the death of a mega space. And you're talking tens of thousands of square feet of retail space in prime San Francisco. So I do not know what that is going to be. Having said that,
Because didn't
whether
Burke
Nintendo
Williams also bail out of that too?
Oh, I think
and they had a ton of space in there.
well, I know that like
Burke
the
Williams, the spa.
Oh, yeah.
I know the most recent thing I saw was like all the high-end watch boutiques have pulled out. So like Rolex pulled their boutique out. They were like, we're not doing this anymore. I think they broke their lease too. So it's just I mean, literally, we should hit them up and be like, how do we shoot a zombie film in this? Because
It's in the last month, it's gone from bad to just empty. Like there's nothing there. It used to be like, all right, cool. The big guys are gone, but at least there's a bunch of storefronts. Now there's like no storefront at all. It's
Yeah.
like the wildest stuff. Like I think they're going to straight up close the doors and not let people in. Very soon.
I think that's going to be the case because Westfield themselves, it's not even called the Westfield Mall anymore. I think they defaulted on their loan. I think it got given back to the bank for like pennies on the dollar.
Wild.
And so I don't know who's going to do what. Having said all that, I have no idea what that's going to turn into. And I'm going to be fascinated to watch that because we have to do something with it. It's prime real estate in San Francisco. And I just refuse to believe that there's not something cool that someone can figure out with that.
I
But-
think you hear about that all the time, though. Just so many places closing down that like can be used for literally anything else, and it's like, no, we'll sit on this.
It'll be empty forever.
We'll sit on this building forever because costs and rent. We don't really give a fuck.
Yeah, especially if there's no penalty for empty storefronts and stuff like
Yeah.
that, which is another big conversation.
Yeah, I mean, there's some people disagreeing with me as far as like the retail theft stuff. That was just one of the things that I'm not saying that was the main reason. In fact, I don't think it's the main reason. That was just one of the things that people had cited as an excuse to leave. Whether
That
or
was
not
early
is-
on, yeah.
That was very early on.
That was early on, and a lot of that was proven to be
Debunked,
false.
yeah.
Where,
Yeah.
by
Walgreens.
not only Walgreens, but a lot of places were using it as an excuse, but it ended up just being stuff that they were writing on. Like, it's,
Well, the Walgreens thing is specifically like people. I mean, a lot of it is just like a lot of people are just they're just buying their shit online, right? Like the retail in general,
Yeah.
brick and mortar retail in general has been on the decline for a very, very long
Of
time.
course,
So,
yeah.
Like they've closed a lot of. I don't know if you guys noticed it or not, but they've closed like half the Walgreens in the city.
Yeah.
Like Walgreens is not doing great. Like the one by me is just dead. Like they just literally overnight took the fucking sign off, and it's like sad because you can still see the sign in like dirt.
They literally closed 12 of them 2 months ago.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes, just in San Francisco.
Yeah.
do
so,
you? So
Sucks.
anytime I've been,
I fucking love Walgreens, by the way. I'm a Walgreens guy. CVS, suck it.
anytime I'm
say
a CVS guy.
Someone
Well,
has to.
Anytime I've been to
You
ceremony,
so are.
it's always pretty
It's
active.
packed.
Sorry, where?
And
Ceremony.
ceremony. And is that
Ceremony or Stonestown or both?
Jonestown's still kind of
I
popping,
meant
right?
Stonestown, my bad.
Yeah.
Ceremony's the one down south, right?
Ceremony's the one, like, yeah, right
Got
there.
you, got you,
Well,
sorry.
so here's the thing, Andy. Like, sorry to cut you off before you're making your point, but Stonestown made a very smart pivot to focusing on like Asian food. So it's kind of become like a San Francisco
Mini
foodie,
Japantown.
mini Japantown situation,
Yeah,
and that's
interesting.
bringing active people in and finding success. Whereas like the retail stores still aren't. But even then, you go to Stonestown, they now have that round one, which is like huge in Japan and Korea. Like
What's round one? Like a
it's
live
like
arcade?
arcades,
Yeah, yeah.
with the little like
gotcha
gotcha machine
machine.
stuff. A ton of these storefronts are now gotcha machine places and like very Asian inspired like thrift stores and things like that.
Yeah.
Like, so they're finding a way to succeed. Ceremony's copying that. Ceremony's
cool.
opening up a whole bunch of like they're building new buildings around the parking lot that are all going to be like Korean supermarkets and
The
things
new
like
one that just opened had crazy lines last week, like around the mall.
Oh shit! I wonder if it has like because to me the analog there of why it's always popping because I always see a lot of young people there and it's like SF State is really really close by and I think I guess anytime that we have been there it just seems like maybe the stories of people aren't going anywhere together feels a lot more exaggerated because it really feels like I always see groups of friends walking around at Stonestown.
Yeah.
And it feels like maybe there's a pivot going back the other way where when people weren't leaving their houses, not only because of COVID, but because everybody's just at home and you have all your entertainment and people aren't going out to bars or to whatever anymore. And we're seeing a lot of decline on that front. It does feel like there's always groups of a lot of either teenagers or college kids just walking around, and maybe they're shopping, maybe they're not. But
well, they're not shopping.
It feels like a congregation place.
I think it's experience based because
Yeah.
now it's all food places, like a ton of different types of food places. Then it's the arcade, then it's the all the escape room stuff and the VR like game room things. Like they're real, and the theater, like they're
Yeah.
leaning into like the mall being less of a retail place and more of a place to a destination
I feel
event to
like
like
space
actually
as
go
they
hang
know.
out and have fun. So
they got to
That's
get
always kind of what it used to be for us in high school anyway, right? You just
Yeah.
can't go drinking. What do you do? We gotta
Can
go to
you
the mall.
imagine if Stone Sound opened up a Poke Center?
it'd be insane.
That would be
Fucking
crazy.
shit, man. I would go
yeah,
there
this
like
is the new
once a
place.
month, like twice a month.
This is the giant Korean.
See, this is
supermarket
what's
that just
so
opened.
interesting. So they have things like this in Europe, right? They have massive food halls
Yeah.
in Europe. Well, you'll go and it'll be like thousands of square feet of like smaller vendors and stuff like this. And for whatever
Love
reason,
those.
like SF, just we don't. I think they opened one in the East Bay, right?
No, IKEA opened one next to the IKEA
oh
on
right.
Market.
I haven't been to that yet.
It's a giant food hall, and people are just not showing up. It's empty, and like one
Oh,
by
that's
one, the
interesting.
vendors are pulling out. I don't
Yeah.
think it lasts the next 3 years.
wonder if-
And again, that's location. That's why the Nintendo thing. It's at Union Square, which is a block away, which does make a difference. But I wonder if it's going to make enough of a difference.
Here's the thing, I don't know. It's taking over the old Barney's, right? Which I think went out of business a long time ago. But I think if any spot in SF could sustain that, it's right there. Because that's Union Square, basically. That is the epicenter of tourism in San Francisco. That's where a lot, like majority of the real estate around that is hotels.
yeah.
Granted, most of those are also defaulting on their loans, but whatever. It's like someone's gonna buy them. The hotels, it's always good business. But I'm excited. I hope it helps. I hope it's the tip of like it sustains the area. But yeah, the mall going out of business is really difficult. I don't know how our new government, our city government's going to deal with that at all, because I don't even know what you would do with it. What do you do with this? You can't like knock it down. That would cost hundreds of millions of dollars just to like demo the whole fucking thing. And then what? 2 to 3 years to figure out if you can put up condos or something crazy like that. I don't even know, man. It's crazy. The IKEA, didn't they try to get out of that before? Wasn't IKEA like, oh shit, we don't want to do this, and then they just had to because they sunk too much cost into it?
I don't know.
Dude,
Yeah.
if they decided to
it, though.
turn it into like every storefront is like your own, like every storefront becomes some sort of living space, that would be so cool, dude. Because I love like when I go to when I haven't been there in a long time, but I think of the Domain in Austin, how
Oh,
it's
the domain's cool.
shopping center / living center where it just feels like future walkable city type shit.
Yeah.
And it because of that, it feels so ahead of its time.
Dude,
where it's just all these restaurants and then the apartments are like up top.
Yep.
I love
And
that.
and it's all like just kind of a little city square,
dread.
a mini town. It rocks,
I went
dude.
to London, and I'd never been to this thing before, but there's a place called the I think it's the Battery Power Station. Have you seen this at all?
No.
It's out in Battery Park. It is an old. They retrofitted a massive old power station. So the exterior of it is like brutalist. It's like
That's
fucking
cool.
smokestacks, and like you stand next to it, you're like, okay, well this for sure helped us win the war.
What's
Whatever.
it called?
I want to say Battersea Power Station. Thank you, Fake Jake. Battersea Power
Battersea.
Station. They kept the facade. The inside is a really, really cool mall, but all around it are condos. So like
Whoa.
literally every building around
This
it
looks
is.
crazy.
Sorry. This is Santana Row.
Oh,
'Cause
which
this
I
is,
also love.
like really beautiful, like shopping.
What is-
And then
where's
on
this?
the-
This is San Jose,
San Jose,
Oh yeah,
right by the giant Westfield they have.
Yeah.
by like the
like,
Italy. and
it's a
stuff
block
that, if
away.
you've
right.
been
So they're all
there. I like
condos,
there.
So
basically.
yeah, the bottom is all like fancy shops. Like I mean, they also have like H&M and stuff, and then the top is all apartment buildings.
Yeah,
That's the same as in Emeryville, right next.
yeah. I
next
love that
to the-
stretch at Emeryville.
Yeah, next
I like
to the
that little
IKEA.
stretch.
Literally right across the Bay Bridge, there's a mall that looks very similar to this, and
Oh,
then
really?
the top is all apartment buildings.
Yeah, the issue is going to be the cost of those units, though, right?
Yeah.
Well, for one,
That's
you'd
the
have
issue
to,
everywhere.
you'd have to basically
Well,
either
especially-
build on top of it or retrofit that whole mall. You couldn't.
The biggest issue is like bathrooms and kitchens. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like they don't have
They're not
gas.
Retrofitted
They
for
have
that,
to
yeah.
like
And there's
rebuild it,
no like windows.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not. You'd have to gut the whole thing. It's possible to do. It's definitely possible. To
Kevin,
do.
can you bring up Battersea Power Station? This shit is fucking crazy.
This shit's nuts.
Oh, that
So,
looks dope.
We saw
This is where Negan kept his crew in The Walking Dead.
dude.
Damn, it looks so cool
It's
from the outside.
fucking-
Holy shit.
It's so cool, and the reason why we saw it
Tennis
was
courts
because
on the top?
what's that?
Tennis courts on the top?
Oh, we didn't go up there.
That's tight.
I have no
though.
idea. It looks like a pool.
Yeah, it looks like a pool.
It was raining as shit and cold when I went there. But look, all those buildings around it are condos, and so you can kind of like it's got a built-in group of people. And Battersea is actually pretty populated as well. It's over right across the river. But it was just really cool, and it was popping when we went. Oh, it is tennis courts. Look at that. That's cool. I wonder if you get access to that from like some sort of club level membership for the condos.
Wait, so what's inside the power plant?
It's a massive mall.
Oh.
So if you go through, if you scroll down, you can see what the retail shops look like. Actually, that picture right there.
And
Any of
there's
those.
also housing?
No, there's no housing in the actual mall
Damn,
itself,
that
but
place is
every
cool.
surrounding building is condo. It's like 8 to 12 story condos. And it's really cool. I mean, it's popping, and it's definitely a place that if you like, hey, if you had some money to spend and you could afford one of the condos there, it's not a bad place to be because you're right next to all this cool stuff that you would need. Restaurants below all of the condos. We saw it because we were watching the Michael Fassbender show on Apple TV, the spy show, and he met his daughter there, but they were being chased by someone. And I was like, where is that place? And we looked it up, and it was Battersea Power
That's
Station. I was
tight.
like, D, next time we go, we gotta go. It was super
sick.
cool. But yeah, hopefully we can figure something out like that for San Francisco because that area is. I mean, come on, dude. It's fucking Market Street. Figure it out. Come on, figure it out, Mayor Lurie.
Were they gonna like? There was a lot of talk of putting a soccer stadium there and maybe
yeah.
a giant arcade.
That'd be fucking rad.
Would it?
A soccer stadium?
Yeah,
that'd
would
be. I mean, it would
That
be
would be
better
wild.
than
In
an
the
empty
middle of
store.
downtown? I mean, sure.
Yeah, but it's like, how is that? Is that any better or worse than where the Chase Stadium, where it's in the middle of Mission Bay, where you can't really like.
I mean,
I think it's
at
fine. They
least
figure it
out of the
out.
way. It's not
That was
all
like
money.
made up space. This is
Yeah.
like fucking prime ass.
Prime.
You can't get more prime San Francisco.
Yeah,
space.
let's put something cool in there.
Make me the mayor. Make fucking San Francisco a whole city,
hard.
a whole block of. Hey, if you're gonna have a retail space in here, you need neon signs.
Yeah,
This is gonna be
that's
not
it.
only a tourist attraction, but we're gonna have a fuckload of restaurants that people want to go to. This is gonna be the spot to be.
Shanghai got it right.
Dude, I want it
too.
so bad, man.
I think the big problem is that you need the people, and it's in such a slump right now that like, I don't know what the tourist levels are. I think they're starting to come back up, but it's just literally like you need day-to-day foot traffic. You need people that are like, that's my Trader Joe's that I go to, and
Well,
there's just
and-
no one living around there anymore.
but
That's why my vote's for hockey stadium.
really,
Hockey's on the
Arena?
rise.
hockey
When's the last time you
is-
thought about it?
Hockey actually is.
Think
Hockey's
about
like
it.
overtaking baseball in a lot
Yeah,
of
Yerba
about it.
Buena's right
Fuck.
there, and they've got a hockey rink.
Fair enough.
Really?
Have you guys seen the new thing that they're doing with the like dorms are coming back in style, like in Vogue? There's a bunch of like younger Gen Alpha tech people that are like, we're just gonna live in dorms. There's like corporate, or not corporate dorms, but like privatized dorms.
Well, that's what they're turning Tanforan into.
Is that what it's turning
They're
into?
shutting Tanforan down. It's all just going to be tech dorms for Genentech.
Tech dorms. You just get a room,
What?
sink, shared bathrooms, super cheap. You just work your face off. Isn't that wild?
You work your face
I mean, that's what it is, right? Like
Oh,
it's,
yeah,
it's like bare
absolutely.
bones minimum of like, it's wild.
Yeah.
I don't know.
One last thing to round this out.
'Kay.
I saw a little. What are we looking at
The
here?
city is in Chongqing. It's China,
Uh huh.
but like they have like an area that is all neon lights. It looks
Amazing.
fucking
Can we,
awesome.
can we
So
take a
cool.
moment to
That's a little too
applaud
much,
Kevin
though.
on that pronunciation
on.
of that city?
Oh, yeah.
Good job,
I
Kev.
get a lot of TikTok videos about this city.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's like a little too much. That looks like just.
Are you joking?
yeah,
Are
well,
you joking
I-
right now?
yeah,
He's
Kev-
fucking with me, right?
I mean, this
Tim?
looks. This looks
This
like
is too much.
It looks like the rich
looks-
neighborhood that does a lot of like Christmas decorations.
I need more
I
color
want-
Andy,
variants.
this
I
is a
want
bad
Blade Runner.
photo. Like, it looks really cool when everything's moving.
Yeah, but I'm
I
with
want
Andy
Blade
on this,
Runner.
where,
I
like,
want Cyberpunk.
You spend 5 minutes there, you go home, you're like, my left eye doesn't work anymore. It's just fucked up.
Yeah, give me, like an area that.
You're saying this doesn't look fucking
that looks-
cool.
okay, that looks
That's
cool.
the same.
That's
This is the
so
same
sick.
area.
I think this is where they shot Madripoor in Falcon and the Winter
Oh,
Soldier.
wow.
Oh, yeah.
But
Could
look
be
at
wrong.
that. Look at that building. It just says shit on it. That's
yeah, that's
cool.
what I want.
Gym
That-
leader Phil says not enough pink and blue lights.
Yeah,
I agree.
That's for sure. That's for real.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
this
get-
is like Bowser's house in a 3D world.
Yeah, like one of those buildings. I need like gigantic neon like vertical sign on the side
That's
or
so
whatever.
sick.
That's sick.
I'm just a big fan of that building. Like, hey, let's put LEDs everywhere so we can like put cool lights and stuff on it. Not like the Salesforce
Salesforce.
tower, which I absolutely
dick
hate.
tip.
I fucking hate the dick tip. 100%.
Here was an Ask Reddit question that I saw that I just thought would be
Let's have a quick,
quick little, nothing crazy, but it was
about it.
you die today
Mm-hmm.
and you will be reincarnated, but not as a human. What do you pick?
Fuck yeah. I want to be a raccoon.
Raccoon. That was the quickest answer. No questions.
I fucking get it though, Joe. That's awesome.
Because obviously it's like, you could even pick something living like a plant or something odd like that. But to me, I would just think of where would I be in the most safe scenario?
I've
a field
answered.
mouse.
What's the least dangerous thing? Yeah, but I feel like you're easy prey, you know?
I'll
Yeah.
answer it right now. I want to be one of Tim's dogs.
I was just thinking, man, Pomeranians, like, I don't have that much experience with things that aren't human, but the experience I have with these guys, I'm like, they have the fucking life, man.
And I do think that, like, probably pound for pound,
Not many pounds.
Pomeranians have like the highest quality of life. For
Oh,
Yeah,
God, yes.
probably.
Oh, God,
it's never
yes.
Chihuahuas, but Chihuahuas get a lot of shit. No one's giving
Yeah.
shit to the Poms.
No, the palms.
No, they're just
I guess
pampered.
Yeah.
to me though, I would be fine with that would be cool, but it's when you think of a dog, it's like it's a dog's brain. But in this case, it would be my brain in there, and I'm fully conscious.
That's why I want
and
to be
you're
one
a
of Tim's
dog, and
dogs.
you're
Like
like,
all the cool shit I can watch him do.
I mean,
They'd be
but
like,
you're-
why does Moose keep watching me shower? I'm like, yeah.
Oh my God.
Lather
that's
up
where
your
you went.
body.
Jesus Christ.
but you're also just like,
Writing you messages and steam on the mirror.
you're just
Hi,
kind of
Tim.
bored. Is the way
Tim.
if you're if you're
A plant?
I guess I just think of like being a bird,
Oh, where
Bird's
you're
the
like
best.
stuck in a
Eagle
cage,
would be the
like
best.
a
Bird's cool.
outside bird
like
or like a
like a wild
domesticated bird?
eagle, where
Mhm.
I'm hunting for fish, but also I have the fucking vision of like I can see a mouse on the ground 3 miles
wanna be like
away,
an
you
eagle.
know.
Mhm.
That's
And
sick.
just soaring everywhere and
Yeah.
just like that experience. But then I also think of like how sick it'd be to be a hippo, where like nobody fucks with hippos. If
Yeah.
you're a hippo, you're the most dangerous motherfucker, and everybody's scared of
Who
you.
ran the hippopotamus's PR campaign in around 2008? Because up until then, hippos were a goddamn joke. And then all of a sudden, someone's like, they're actually the most dangerous animal ever. And now we all just accept that and believe it. And I know that it's true. I fucking get it. But pre 2008, no one was saying this shit.
No, we thought they were lame.
Yeah.
Well,
It
no,
was
I,
got pretty
the
heat. Look at
this
quicksand
fucker.
people
Pretty
moved over to the
heat.
hippo.
They moved on to the
campaign.
hippo agenda,
You
man.
know what happened? It was that little baby hippo.
no,
No, that was like last year.
Mudang was like, that's what put him on the map for me. I was like, I haven't thought about a hippo since Hungry Hippo.
Well,
But now
I-
Mudang
It was
bringing it
Zoo
back.
Books. Zoo Books got us all worked up.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Kevin. But, like for me, who's always kind of like been into nature videos or documentaries, I think the presence of cell phones and cameras and a lot more things being recorded is maybe why that happened to him, because people started seeing more and more footage of
Hippo attacks.
nobody fucking with hippos.
Yeah.
Lions going up to hippos and the hippos being like, come the fuck on, dude. I will destroy you, you know?
Yeah.
And I think the more and more footage that became available, and then the reports of nobody dies more, like no other animal kills more humans a year than hippos do.
Because
Question
all they
for
gotta do
you,
is just
Andy.
punt you.
Wild.
I guess this is maybe a different. I guess it wouldn't really matter. I was gonna say, do you worry that you can't swim if you're a hippo?
No,
But you would acquire those skills.
yeah,
as
if you're a hippo, everybody like you know. But then I also just think about being like a harpy eagle or a hawk or
So sick.
just
bias.
soaring, man.
Well, I mean,
just
you
like-
definitely want to be the top of the food chain. You want to be
course,
something
yeah.
that doesn't have a natural predator, right? And you want to be something where like food comes plentiful. That's why I
Or you
just
have
feel like
something that
eagles
you-
are easier.
is,
I
like,
had a
really
dream about a snake
protected.
last night.
You
Do you
had a
want
dream
to tell
about a
us?
snake?
No, it was like
Yeah.
I was at an uncle's house and an uncle had like this gigantic anaconda in the backyard that had died, but they left it there to show other snakes, like almost like a
fuck you up, too.
scarecrow
Mm.
Wow.
type deal of like this
Mhm.
thing is here, and then I don't know, it was very scary. It was a scary sight.
Did you see the TikTok that's going
What's he
around? The snake
doing?
opening the door.
No.
Fuck
Big ass
that.
snake opens the door. And the door opens.
Just,
and the snake
pow,
goes-
just
and it goes-
flops. Yeah, it just
It's
flops.
like the most satisfying fucking sound of it
Because
hitting
it
the
was
floor.
just onto the door on the other side.
Yeah, it was on the door to like accidentally, I guess, hit the
knob.
and it just
Love
goes.
that. Oh man, they know how to use doorknobs.
Wait,
now.
which did you guys determine what animal you would be?
I mean, Nick said it, but yeah, I think like Pomeranians have the freaking life, man.
Yeah.
Like,
I
I,
would- I
feel
mean-
like I'd vibe with that. You get to chill all day,
Yeah.
sleep a lot.
A lot.
You just live to eat.
Plentiful
you know?
food. They take you out everywhere because you're small enough to be handheld.
Yeah.
You're like the Switch 2 of dogs. You're free to be taken everywhere.
Yeah.
That's true.
Two
That
of
is
dogs.
true.
It's great.
Porta-
You get to
higher
sleep in the bed.
portability.
No matter what happens, you're always sleeping in the bed. Even if
Yeah.
someone's like, you're not sleeping in the bed tonight, you
sleeping
get
in
your
the bed.
fucking way into that bed.
What about you, chat? What would you pick?
Also, there was a super chat that happened way at the beginning of the show. Tim, are you in the Goofy movie documentary thing on Disney Plus? I don't know if we can pull up the super chats, but somebody brought it up, and I was like, "This is a thing that I was unaware of."
Dylan Bailey did a $5 super chat and said, "Just saw Tim in Not Just a Goof. Cool little kind of funny surprise." The fuck?
What?
Wait a minute. Okay.
Because there's a Goofy movie documentary called Not Just a Goof.
That's coming out on Disney Plus in like the next week or so.
No
Oh, it's not out now?
fucking way. Years ago, I recorded a thing for a Goofy movie documentary, but like I didn't know it was a Disney Plus thing.
Good.
And
came
I'm
out
surprised
today.
this is seeing the light of day.
That's awesome.
Came
This
out
is
today,
blowing my mind.
apparently.
Wait, first off, this is out?
Dylan Bailey says Tim is in it. I swear, go check it out. It came out today.
Oh, fuck.
I'm
Wait,
logged in
what?
now.
That's cool.
Style Gem says it's on the Reddit.
That's amazing.
That's awesome.
Holy shit. Yeah,
That's
no,
amazing.
I recorded a whole like 15-minute thing about how much the Goofy movie inspired my life. And how the Max Goof like scheming to get on stage and do the whole performance thing at the high school assembly and then later ending up on the stage in like the Powerline concert. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's kind of like my goal in life.
There we go.
That's amazing.
Wait, can we? I don't want to get claimed on this, but can we just kind of scrub through this?
Oh, I guess it's in the trailer. So like,
There's no way I made the trailer. There's no way.
No, you're not in the trailer. I
Because
just-
this is them actually
I
like
just
talking to
scrolled
the
through it.
directors and writers and
crazy.
actors.
Who did we
Awesome.
shoot this for you, or did you go?
No,
someplace
this was
and shoot
during the
this?
pandemic, so I
You
shot it
just
at
shot it
home.
at home?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
oh, interesting.
Well, there
That's
you go.
hilarious, man. That's so freaking cool.
Cool, man.
Well,
You're on Disney Plus.
I'm on Disney Plus, baby.
Well, check
Hell
that
yeah.
out. Everyone, go check that out. Go support.
Wait, sorry, I
that
missed
after
this. Is it out now?
It's out
yeah,
today.
it's out now. They're saying
gonna
at
watch
the
tonight.
1 hour, 12-minute timestamp.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm
There's a big old montage showcasing a Goofy movie and the impact it's had. Tim unsurprisingly states that the something finale,
Disney.
I2I 121.
I2I.
Oh, the
Look
one-
at me, look at me.
wow.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
That's
don't
crazy.
play it, Kev. We might like that'll we'll get,
Yeah.
Disney Plus is crazy with that. That is really freaking cool. I'm part of history here.
That's
Hell
I'm pretty
yeah.
sure today's the 30th anniversary of the movie too, which
Yeah.
that makes
Oh,
sense of why it'd be
man.
coming out.
Okay, so now my brain starts spinning. Right? How do I fuck with Greg with this? What can
Why
we say about?
you?
Because I have to be the go-between between him and Tim.
Okay. Okay.
Tim can't do it directly, but I guess Tim's now on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
So we'll just call Tim the Disney Plus boy or something cool like that.
So
And Greg
cool.
the
I think we need to
ex-trending gamer.
workshop
Yeah,
that one a
so-
little bit.
We'll figure it out. His Disney
Yeah.
kid. We'll call Tim the Disney kid.
Yeah, we gotta tell Greg. We gotta get this in my intro now.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's super
Anyways,
good.
we gotta
That's
figure
super
that
cool.
out. Legit though, that's pretty damn cool.
That's rad.
Shout out to the best friend that got me involved in this. That was like helping produce this because like it being on Disney Plus, that's wild. Because like when
Yeah.
would reach out to me, like I thought this was just like a fun little
Passion
YouTube
project.
passion
thing or whatever,
project,
yeah.
for YouTube or something. So
It looks good as
That's
shit. The
very-
trailer looks like this guy knows what he's doing.
that's cool, man.
That's rad.
That's
Hell
so
yeah.
dope.
That's cool. Well, everyone go watch that and yeah, let us know what you think about that. Go support that over on Disney Plus tonight. But not just yet, ladies and gentlemen, because this has been the Kind of Funny podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for all of our live viewers, and thank you for everyone listening at home. If you guys are watching live right now, we are going straight back into our Pokemon Let's Play after this. Me
Hell
and
yeah.
Andy are hitting the streets of Johto, and we are going to try to take on the 8th gym today. This has been wonderful, guys. Thank you so much. Let us know what you think of anything we talked about in the comments below if you're watching this on YouTube. And until next time, it has been our pleasure to serve you.